How ironic that in Varanasi, the city of life, we should end up playing cricket in a cemetery. Already 3-2 down in the series, the Black Craps had to prove they could compete, even against some stiff competition. Sorry, no more dead puns. As soon as we arrived, Mr. Thomas, the cemetery's Roman Catholic priest and caretaker, herded us through the cemetery gates, past his modest but tidy hut. Another boy grabbed our bat. "Match," he pleaded, "match." "Yes," we said, "match." Sprinting over to where the makeshift pitch was, the boy pushed whoever was batting out of the way. We soon joined him, and, as seemed to be the case all over India, within minutes a multitude of kids surrounded us. They came out of the woodwork like meerkats. In one of the holiest cities on earth, where most locals choose cremation over burial, it seemed rather incongruous to be standing in the middle of a cemetery. But then this cemetery wasn't exactly a going concern. It was used by the British Army in the 1850 war, and all soldiers, as well as any immediate family, were buried here. Little did we know, Mr. Thomas had been trying to make the graveyard void of cricket, so he could make it a more reputable final resting place. That was until we arrived. As usual, the actual game took at least half an hour to start. Typically, everyone wanted to play for India, and no one wanted to play for New Zealand. So far on the trip, we had made games 5-a-side, each team facing 5 overs each. Stu, a no-nonsense farmer from New Zealand's South Island, and myself would be New Zealand. We would then poach 3 Indian players. They always gave us their worst, and they would choose 5 boys that could probably play international cricket. India would then argue for 15 minutes over who would open. When the game finally began, we noticed something special. Many mums and dads ordered their kids to go away and put on their Sunday best. They returned with combed hair and ironed trousers up to their armpits. Meanwhile, their taller, older, scruffier-dressed counterparts looked as though they were designed for cricket. They breathed the game. As soon as a ball was tossed their way, they took on the personas of Ganguly, Laxman and Dravid. One got the feeling the soldiers buried here would have endorsed their sacred place being used for the sacred game. We bowled first, and badly. Square cuts soon ricocheted off tombstones. Sixes gave local crows something to worry about. Their opening batsman, Anu Khan, who was to become man of the match, walloped us over goats, past humorless buffalo lazing in the midday sun, and finally, and to our abject horror, right into a makeshift rubbish dump in the far corner of the graveyard. End result? They batted like Australia, we bowled like Zimbabwe, blindfolded. 67 for 4 on a goat track seemed a formidable total. The outfield was stony, dry and dusty. The pitch wasn't much better. But this was their ground. They knew every quirk. Goats and sheep grazed, unfazed. Kids in school uniforms gathered on stone walls surrounding the cemetery. World Cup-style celebrations ensued whenever a wicket was taken, even if the victim was a backyard hacker from New Zealand. But every one of these kids wanted to succeed. They wanted it bad. And even though they'd never admit it, as seems to be the case in this selfish game, they secretly hoped their mate would get out so they could face the Kiwis. Typically, while all of this nonsense was going on mid-pitch, Reese, our head scorer, would be smothered, swamped and harassed by locals, convinced they knew more than him when it came to wide balls, no balls and dead balls. They were normally right, of course, as the only thing Reese disliked more than watching cricket was having some smart-ass lean over his shoulder telling him he didn't know his flipper from his floater. The only reason Reese was on the trip at all was because he once lived in Varanasi when he was 20. Well, that, and he spoke Hindi, and once stood on a dead bloke's head in the River Ganges, and drank his own urine for 6 months on a yoga course. Sadly, on this particular day, it wasn't only Reese's shortcomings with the scorebook that were tested. He was also harassed by a woman, asking for money, claiming a shot by one of the New Zealanders had struck her son on the face. He even had the scratch to prove it. She dragged her son over by the arm, squeezing it so hard as to make him cry. "You hit my son," she wailed. "Pay doctor's bills." If nothing else, the woman deserved brownie points for inventiveness. Sadly, an integral part of her story didn't stack up. The luckless Kiwis, apart from John, who fluked a straight drive for 4, hadn't so much as hit the ball all afternoon. Meanwhile, Reese's perpetrators had now become his allies. "Get away, woman, he's just trying to score," they hollered in Hindi. "That was a wide. Front foot, umpire." Alas, these off-field antics didn't stop the Black Craps losing the match, managing a paltry 44. Dead unlucky, wouldn't you say? Sorry, force of habit. India, meanwhile, were high-fiving like crazy, stoked with their 23-run win. And hopefully, with a bit of luck, man of the match Anu Khan is still talking about his innings today.
मेरे प्यारे दोस्तों, मैं जरा